Alright, hey guys, so the Humble Monthly for September just unlocked and I thought I'd go over the games and talk a little bit about the bundle itself. Unfortunately, quite a few people are pretty disappointed with this month's monthly. The main reason is that it has a very low MSRP value, which means the total value of all the games are relatively low compared to the previous month. In August, the MSRP was $262. This month, which is September's monthly, is $126, so that's a huge difference. Typically, they tend to vary between $150 to $200, so it's a pretty low valued bundle, but that doesn't mean that the games are bad. So let's go back to the Humble Monthly. So I'm just going to quickly go over the games. You get the Banner Saga 2, you get Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight, you get Killing Floor 2, which was the early unlock, Worms WMD, Stories Untold, and Hacky Zack. And one more game, Ethereum. So you get 7 Steam games in total. You also get a Humble original, which is Volanta, Kingdom Under the Sky, but it's not a Steam key, so I'm not going to cover that in this video. So now to just go over the games, I will say I understand why people are disappointed because of a lot of these games in this monthly are very niche games. You really have to have an interest in a very specific genre to really enjoy some of these. For example, the Banner Saga 2, which is the sequel to the Banner Saga. It's a very story-driven, like animated tactical turn-based game. A lot of people are not really interested in tactical turn-based games, so I can understand why people may not enjoy this one, especially if you don't have the Banner Saga 1, because the Banner Saga 2 continues the story of the first Banner Saga, so you'll be kind of lost if you didn't play the first one already. Other than that though, it's a pretty good game. It has a pretty good value too, $20. I've heard really good things about the Banner Saga, and most people seem to enjoy it, 92% positive reviews. But honestly, like in my personal opinion, after playing it, I can definitely see why people might think it's a very like slow pace and sort of repetitive type game. So just moving forward, the next game, Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight. This is like my favorite game of this bundle. I really enjoy like action RPGs, and this one looks to be very well made. It's the 4th installment of the Momodora series. It's like a Metroidvania style game. Looks very interesting. The graphics look great. Like the pixel art looks fantastic, and you play as a female character, and it just looks like a wonderful little experience, at least for me. And it has overwhelmingly positive reviews, which means over 95% of people found the game to be enjoyable. So I'm definitely going to check this out in the near future. Looks like a pretty fun little game there. And then the next game, Killing Floor 2. I'm sure everyone's heard of Killing Floor 2. It's a 6-player co-op zombie slaying like horde-based survival game where you just fight through wave after wave of zombies, and there's like a boss at the end, and you level up your characters. It's a very addictive game because at the end of each game you get experience, which you can use to unlock perks, and then you can move on to harder difficulty levels, fight harder bosses, and so forth. I think they also added a 12-player versus survival mode too, which is kind of interesting. You can actually play as the zombies as well. But people who play Killing Floor 2, they typically spend like hundreds of hours in the game. If I just scroll down to the review section, you can see that this guy's played it for 400 hours. This guy's played it for 550 hours and left it a negative review. But a lot of people have played it for hundreds of hours just because it's a very addictive game, and it actually has quite a bit of content, especially if you play it with a group of friends. So moving forward from that, Killing Floor 2, definitely worth it. The entire bundle is probably like, if you were interested in Killing Floor 2, I'm sure this entire bundle is probably worth it for you. So let's move on to the next one, Worms WMD. I'm not too familiar with the Worms games, but this is a very popular franchise. It's a I'm pretty sure it's a game where you like shoot like missiles and stuff. It's like a war game where you play as a bunch of worms, and it's like physics-based, I suppose. But I'm not too familiar with Worms games, but I'm definitely going to check this one out because it supports, I think, 6-player multiplayer, which is kind of cool. And it looks like it has its own campaign and everything, so it looks like a fun game. And I think this is the latest installment of the Worms series. So yeah, looks like a fun little game there. And then the next game is Stories Untold, which is a text-based horror game or horror thriller. I'm not too familiar with most horror games. It looks interesting, just judging from the trailer alone. It looks very atmospheric, and it looks like it has an interesting storyline. The next 2 games, I would call these games like add-in games or just extras that they just throw in. This game is like, what, $10? It just came out. There's only like 20 reviews for it, and it looks like some sort of puzzle game. In my opinion, games like this are not of quality to be in Humble Monthlies. Not to offend anyone, but this just looks way too basic for me, especially paying like $12 a month. This is like a very, very basic game. And the next game as well, Ethereum, same deal. I think this game is $5 and came out fairly wait, it came out years ago. Wow, came out like 3 years ago. I don't know why this was included in this monthly. It's just a very like dated looking space shooter. So yeah, the last two games I really don't care too much for. I might try them out at some point. Maybe they're more enjoyable than they look, but they look pretty dated, and they're just kind of throw-in titles. So overall, like, my thoughts on the bundle, I think it's a good bundle, but it really depends on like if you enjoy certain genres. Like, I know some people, like, if you wanted the Banner Saga 2 before this bundle came out, I'm sure you're absolutely like thrilled with the bundle because the Banner Saga 2 gives you a ton of content and it has a good story and so forth. Same with the Killing Floor 2. Momodora for me was like the big highlight of this bundle. I think it looks super charming and I'm probably really going to enjoy that game. Worms WMD might be fun with friends, and the rest I just don't have too much interest in. So overall, it's a pretty like subpar bundle, but I mean, Killing Floor 2, that's a big game, and it hasn't gone on sale very often. I think the lowest Killing Floor 2 has gone on sale for was $15, or it might have been $20. I don't know. I think I paid $20 for it. So I mean, if you're interested in Killing Floor 2, this bundle is definitely worth it. So yeah, that's it. If you don't know about the Humble Monthlies, unfortunately, you're not eligible to purchase any of these games because the monthly already came out. But you are eligible to purchase next month's monthly, which includes a really big game. Let's go ahead and go to it over here. Let me just scroll up. So next month's monthly, the October monthly, includes Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is probably one of the biggest games that has ever been released in a Humble Monthly. Rise of the Tomb Raider, I actually have a Let's Play of it on my channel. Absolutely incredible game. I do encourage you guys to play the first one before you play Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's just Tomb Raider. It came out in like 2013, I think. Both of these games have exceptional graphics. Gameplay is top-notch, so much fun, and it's an absolute like beautiful experience. Even if you're not a fan of Rise of the Tomb Raider, like I was never a fan of Rise of the Tomb Raider until the last two games. But really awesome game, and definitely worthwhile. If you are missing Rise of the Tomb Raider, I highly encourage you guys to pick up the October's Humble Monthly. If you don't know how it works, you can subscribe today, automatically get Rise of the Tomb Raider. You can redeem it to your Steam account, and then you just wait until the beginning of next month, and then the rest of the random games will be unlocked, and then you can just activate them. But before you do that, I will say that I do have a referral link in the description below. If you guys want to use that referral link before you subscribe, it'll get me a little bit of money and help me out. So thank you to anyone who uses that referral link. So that's pretty much it. I will say though, if you are disappointed with this month's Humble Monthly, there is still the Humble Jumbo Bundle 9, which does include a lot of great games for a very low cost. So like for $1 you get these games, but for $5 you get like Warhammer: The End Times Vermintide, for Dune, and then for $10 you get American Truck Simulator. I would definitely encourage you guys to pick up the BTA tier of this bundle, or the $1 tier, because Human Fall Flat is a really fun game, and so is Infested Planet. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you found something informative about this video. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.